JJ Math. Hi grade 12s, welcome to a practice video on the arithmetic TN formula. So I chose a few random questions that is very similar to your textbooks, and we're going to go through them step by step, but this video works a bit differently than the lesson videos because I want you to please look at the sum, pause the video, try it yourself, and then when you think you're ready and you got the answer, unpause and check the explanation and the marking, and give yourself a mark like I'm showing on screen, so that you have an accurate reflection of what you understand and what you don't understand. I am at the start of these videos. I'm gonna put a short slideshow of all the videos you can expect, and then I'll break the video up into chapters and timestamps so you can go to the question that you are struggling with. And I'll also tell you if it's easy, medium, or hard, so that you know what level you are on and what you're struggling on. Enjoy. Let's look at question 1. Determine the general term of this sequence. So firstly, going to start with my little list. Tn equals n equals a equals d equals. They told me it's arithmetic, so I know there's a d and not an r. Determine the general term. So I need a and d because I'm going to fill it in to this formula. Tn equals a plus n minus 1 d. Okay, so I can see a is the first term. It's 4. D I get when I say 11 minus 4. So 11 minus 4, so that is equal to 7. So in question A, they don't ask me for n or tn, so I'm just going to leave it blank. So I can just fill in. So A is 4 plus n minus 1, and then a 7. So final answer for this one, 4 plus 7n minus 7. Sorry, now it's only the final answer. So it's 7n minus 3. That is my nth term general formula, or whatever they want to call it. Okay, question B, what is the value of the 36th term? They are asking for t and they give me the position and asking me the value. So question B, what is the value of the 36th one? So I can say I'm looking for t36, and I'm just going to sub in 36 in the place of n. So there's no marks in between this step and the answer. Okay, so typing it into the calculator, it says 36 minus 3, so the answer is 249. Okay, question C. Which term has a value of 193? So now I am looking for n, and I have tn. So for question C, I can then say 193 is equal to, taking the answer of question A, 7n minus 3. Okay, so just a little bit of algebra. And then again, on my calculator, I can say 196 divided by 7 gives me 28. So I can say 28 is equal to n. There we go. That is full marks for question 1. Let's look at the mark allocation. So in my estimation, at the beginning of the year, so maybe cycle test 1, each one of these questions would count 2 marks. By the end of the year, final exam, they would maybe count 1 mark each, because they have so many things to cover and the marks needs to be stretched across everything. So in question A, I would get a mark for subbing into the correct formula, getting the right answer. And the same with B and C. So subbing in the 36 at the right place, getting the right answer, subbing in 193 in the right place, and getting the right answer. So 2 marks each. How did you guys do? Was it easy? Was it complicated? Please tell me in the comments. Let's try another one. So please pause the video, try it, and let's see if you would get full marks. Okay, to start this question, I am going to make the list Tn equals, n equals, a equals, and d equals. So I can see a is 3 over 2, and then d, so now they're trying to trick me because it looks like it's fractions and integers mixed across all over. So I can say term 2 minus term 1. So minus 1 minus 3 over 2, and that actually gives me minus 2.5 or minus 5 over 2. So determine the nth term, I can say a is Tn equals a is 3 over 2 plus n minus 1, and then d I can see is -5/2. So you can work with decimals or fractions. They're not going to limit you or penalize you. Your choice. Okay, so next step, I'm just going to distribute the -5/2 in there. So it's -5/2n plus 5/2. And then for my final answer, I can say 3/2 plus 5/2 gives me 8/2, which is just 4 minus 5/2n. That's the answer for question A. Question B. Determine the value of the 100th term. They're giving me a position, so I can put n as 100. They are asking me for a value. So in this case, I am just going to say T100 is equal to 4 minus 5/2 times 100. Once again, I'm just going to type it on the calculator and see what they give me. Answer in this case would be -246. Question C. Okay, how many terms are there in the sequence if the last term is -107/2? So how many terms are there? I don't know what n is, but I know Tn is -107/2. So they could say just, if this is the value, what is the position? Or they could ask it in this format. So just be comfortable with both. It means exactly the same thing. So just going to take my answer for A, and I'm going to say -107/2 is equal to 4 minus 5/2n. Okay, so now it draws on grade 8 and 9 algebra knowledge. This is an equation. I don't like fractions, so I'm just going to multiply everything by 2. So if I multiply this by 2, the fraction cancels. This becomes an 8, and the 2 just goes away. I can take the n to the left, so 5n is equal to 115. If I divide, I am going to get 23. Once again, each one of these questions would count 2 marks. I would get a mark for subbing in, final answer, subbing into n, getting the answer, and then making Tn equal to the value they give me, and then the answer. Question 3. So now we're getting to more word sum type questions, where they are not just giving you question A, question B, question C. You must now know which of those questions are important to be able to get full marks. I would say this question counts about 3 marks, maybe 4, but it depends on your teacher. So the steps I'm going to follow is I must first analyze the question. How many terms are there? So Tn, n, a, and d. How many terms are there? They are asking me to work out n. So just like the last question of question 2, it's exactly the same sum. So they tell me the last term is 84, so I'm looking for the position of the 84th term. I know A is -56, and I know D, I will get if I say -49 minus 56. So if I do that calculation, it's actually going to become +7 as my D value. Okay, so I'm first going to get my Tn formula. So Tn equals A plus n minus 1 d. And multiplying in there gives me 7n minus 7. And therefore that gives me -63 plus 7n. So that's my Tn formula. I know I'm going to work out the 84th one, so I can immediately go and just sub in 84 in there. And now I just solve the algebra sum. So this will become, if I take the 63 over, it will become 147 is equal to 7n. And 147 divided by 7 is going to give me 21. So how many terms are there in the following sequence? There are 21 terms. So your mark allocation would be to get Tn, to sub in the Tn value, and then your final answer. Okay, question 4. Determine the value of x. So now we're getting to the more advanced questions for arithmetic Tn. So in this case, if I look at mark allocation, I would say this one would maybe be 3, and that one would, it could be 3, but I'm thinking more just the value of 2. Okay, determine the value of x. So I can't see A, I can't see D, even though they tell me this is an arithmetic sequence. Now, So I'm not going for general formula in question A. What I am going for is, because this is arithmetic, T2 minus T1 must equal T3 minus T2. So always right minus left. A little silly rhyme you can remember: if you don't start right, it will be wrong. Okay, so always start right minus left, and then you will be able to solve all these questions. Okay, question A, I'm taking right minus left, so term 2, please use brackets. So many people remember the difficult stuff and then lose their marks because they didn't do brackets. Okay, term 2 minus term 1 is equal to term 3 minus term 2. There we go. Now, again, back to algebra. So just going to multiply in the minus. 1 minus 3x minus x plus 3. And now I just need to simplify, take all the x's to the left or to the right, and figure out what is x. So I'm just going to simplify both sides first. X minus 2x is going to give me minus 1x. Minus 3 plus 1 gives me minus 2. On the right, 1 plus 3 is 4. And then minus 3x minus x gives me minus 4x. I want a positive x, so I'm going to move it to the left. Minus 1x plus 4x gives me 3x equals to 6. X is equal to 2. And that would give me my 3 marks. I'll get a mark for starting the question correct. Definitely a mark for my final answer. And then somewhere for the calculations in the middle, you will also get a mark. Question B. Determine the numeric value of the 10th term. So let me just do it up there. So now I need to rewrite those 3 terms, but sub in the 2 that I got. So 2 times 2 minus 1, my first term. 2 minus 3 is my second term. 1 minus 3 times 2 is the third term. So to get my numeric pattern, I'm just going to say 4 minus 1 is 3. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. And then 1 minus 6 is negative 5. So there's my pattern. Now I can see A is equal to 3 and D is equal to minus 1 minus 3 gives me minus 4. So they are asking me what is the value of the 10th term. So Tn equals A plus n minus 1 D. Okay, so term 10, I know A is equal to 3. They told me n is equal to 10. And D is equal to minus 4. So you'll notice I'm not first getting the Tn formula and then subbing in. You are welcome to do that. It's just going to be one extra step. But it's up to you. You will still get full marks if you do it exactly like I'm doing now. So in this case, 3 plus, now that gives me a 9 times negative 4. So that's minus 36. And then the answer is minus 33 is the 10th term. Last question in this video. So now we're getting to exam level questions where they're really trying to confuse you and trick you, but just do it right and you'll get full marks. Okay, so x, y, and 8 and 1, 4x, 3y are both arithmetic sequences. Determine x and y. So even though it's arithmetic sequences, I'm not going to do the Tn formula because it's going to be impossible. But because it's arithmetic sequences, I am again going to use T2 minus T1 is equal to T3 minus T2. So if you don't start right, you will be wrong. Remember, right minus left equals right minus left. Okay, just going to do each one separately. So just to help me visually, I'm going to say that's my green sequence, that's my blue sequence. Okay, so I'm going to do my minusing sums first with the blue sequence. So term 2 minus term 1 equals term 3 minus term 2. And now I can move things around. I want to get x alone. So I'm going to say 2y minus 8 will give me x because I want x positive. That's my equation 1. Now I'm going to do this again. So term 2 minus term 1 must equal term 3 minus term 2. Let's just simplify a bit. So 8x would equal 3y plus 1. That is term 2. So now, simultaneous equations back to grade 10. I can do elimination method or substitution method. I am going to choose to do substitution method because it is a bit easier. So just going to tell my teacher what I'm doing. Sub equation 1 into equation 2. So 8, I'm going to leave a little space, equals 3y plus 1. So equation 1, my blue equation, I can just put in there. And now I can solve for y. So 16y minus 64 equals 3y plus 1. 16 minus 3 gives me 13y is equal to 65. If I divide both by 13, I'll get 5. Y is equal to 5. The question was to determine x and y. So now I'm just going to say sub y into, you can choose any of your equations. I'm just going to go for 1. And then it will be 2. And I'm going to sub in the y. Minus 8 equals x. So 10 minus 8 is 2. And there we go. That is exactly what they want with this question. Now this one would count a bit more. So I would say you're definitely going to get a mark for those two. You're going to mark for subbing in there. You're going to get a mark for subbing in there. And then for both of your equations. So this could easily count 6 marks in a cycle test or an exam. I hope this cleared up a few things about this exercise. Please go watch the video again if you get stuck. But yeah, keep on practicing and you will be fine for exams. Okay guys, bye.
If this video helped you, please like and subscribe.
JJ Math.